You're at home, you've got players available, you could have a man sent off, time and a little bit of luck. They've made the most of it. I'll take nothing away from them. I'm happy to give credit where it's due. And fantastic today. But everyone just calm down.
I'm calm.
That's me saying
I'm calm.
No,
but what I'm
even
saying,
more down.
No. I'm staying up.
You're saying
I'm going up.
give him the job.
What are you saying, Daniel?
No, because, you know what? I think today buys him a bad result or two. I think a performance like now, if they lose next week, it's like, you know what, well, last week...
But his target, what's his target? To finish fourth?
Yeah, Champions League.
Fourth, or getting
or
to
maybe
Europe.
fifth as well.
Fifth, of course, but getting to Europe. But fourth is realistic, and you're going, well, that's what Man United should be thinking. We shouldn't be sitting there going, scratching our heads going, well, could United finish fourth?
Yeah, but
even the last week or two. Even the last week or two, when we've been doing games and we've been disappointed with United, we've been saying, but fourth is a realistic target.
But it hasn't been the case, has it? For once in the last 4 seasons, I think they finished in the top 5.
I know, but the last few months we have been saying, but because of the way the league is at the moment, there is a chance for United to finish fourth. It's not miracles we're talking about here. And if he gets to fourth and he doesn't get the job, he'll still need Carrick to get another job somewhere, because people look and go, listen to the way he's handled himself, he's been great, he's been cool, and United plays in a positive way.
Okay,
but most people who would have took this job today would have played that way.
Well, let me ask you a question. With the players that Man United have in their squad, where do you think they should be finishing? Because if you're saying that they're not ready to win the league yet, so Champions League is realistic. So if they finish in the top 4, right now that has to be
Well, I felt the last
positive.
few months they were going to miss out. But when you see a performer like that and everyone's available, you're thinking, and because of the way the league is this year, the way it's probably, a lot of teams have been inconsistent, barring obviously maybe Villa and of course Arsenal, where City have. You're thinking, yeah, it is a realistic chance, but there's 5 or 6 teams would be thinking that. But if the team can play with that quality and energy, week in, week out, and that is the key, then of course they've got a chance of it. Absolutely.
And what a test next week at Arsenal. Maybe after that game we'll be saying they need an interim to replace the interim who replaced the other interim. We will see. Let's get the Manchester City perspective. Pep Guardiola with Patrick.
Well, Pep, obviously the result is a disappointment. What did you make of your team's performance?
Better team won. United was in 10 years is the time when we came here that they were better. So nothing more to say. When a team is better, you have to accept it. You have the energy that we didn't have, and yeah, congratulate them.
So how were they able to, maybe not in terms of possession, but chances, how were they able to have the better of the match?
No, they had the chances at the end and the crosses, and of course the goals they conceded was poorly. You know that always United have been a transitional team, and we didn't control. But in general, we can talk about this action or the other action, or in the beginning of the game or whatever. So I think we had the duty to analyze the game in general, and they were better.
They obviously wanted an intense physical game. They want to bring their crowd into it. Were you just not able at any point, maybe because you didn't keep the ball well enough, you just weren't able to take that heat out of the match?
But they started really strong. We lost 1 or 2 balls. The crowd is normal, so we played a derby. So in many years, they were behind and they play at home, a long week, new manager. So these kind of things are involved in a game. It's normal that will happen. But especially when we arrive many times in the final third to try to score, we never make a threat. We never make a crosses. We never make a movement to try to win that. So that is because also it's part of the energy, and it's not the energy also we talk is about win or do it. So it's what do we do with the ball as well, not just without. And today they have a point higher than us.
Yeah, you spoke about it a bit before the match with regard to Erling Haaland. Do you feel like that exhaustion? I know you're really not keen to make an excuse for the schedule, but...
It's not about one.
Go on, sorry.
It's not about one. It's in general, so it's not about just one player.
No, but do you feel like the schedule caught up with the group today?
No, today was a game we didn't have in Newcastle. We didn't have against Sunderland. It was exception second half. We didn't have in Brighton or Chelsea. So we were top in that game. So, and Newcastle away, and you know how difficult it is, and today we didn't have it.
What was the thinking with the changes at half-time? Foden came off. Max Aleni probably had his most difficult half since coming into the team. He came off as well.
It was not in the first actions, but that's a play good. Not to play good, but I know, as a new player coming to the stadium, it's like a process. So incredible senior important players like to was on Ruben, but like I don't know, Akanjis or all Kai Walkers, or all the generation that we have. We've been in, in 1 or 2 years for age, we've been replaced, and you need to experience that, that games to step by step to do it. But yeah, you have to continue. It's long. So in 2 days we have Champions League in Norway and go there.
And those changes, I think, with 10 minutes to go, it's the first time in the Premier League that you've taken Erling Haaland off when you've needed a goal. At that point, with the 3 you took off, are you just thinking about saving legs?
Yeah, part of that, yeah. Yeah, part of that. I sit the net and Divine and one and we have new energy. So at the end, it's a question how many moments you have, how many, and all of them. Not believe me, it's not. I'm not a guy like proved many times that he means for that reason. What's one reason? Is always energy is one each other. When someone cannot, the other ones can do it. And today we didn't have it.
And of course, the match could have gone down a very different path had Diogo Dalot been sent off.
Could say that, right? Could say that.
Could say that.
Could say that. It's red card, different game. But as a manager, I have to see how was the game. Well, many situations happen, Like we talk about that. It's easy for me to come here and say, should be sent off, should be a red card, and change the game? No. I choose the game, yes. You play 10 against 11 during 85 minutes, should be a little bit differently, but Anthony Taylor had to decide of that, or VAR, but it's not about that. We will not grow up if that is the argument to win or lose the game. You had to do better, and today we didn't do that.
And sorry, last question. If Arsenal punish you later, if they make that gap 9 points...
It's about how we grow up as a team, and I had the feeling that we have done very, very good things so far. I had that feeling. So we are a team but we have a lot of problems in some departments, and then other ones, as well. And you maybe to be better, you have to make a setbacks. It's about at the end we don't win like what happened last season, and we won Liverpool. Congratulating, you have to do it. But the season a long way. You have to continue to analyze why we didn't have that and try to do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Could prove to be a significant stage in this title race this season. City dropping points in all of the last 4 games, 3 draws in the league before today's defeat, which leaves them 6 points behind Arsenal, who play later at Nottingham Forest. That's a 5:30 kickoff. Aston Villa up against Everton on Super Sunday tomorrow. And there is a goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. I can tell you that Spurs are already behind at home to West Ham United. Crescencio Somerville has put the Hammers in front, the beleaguered Hammers as well. Haven't won in 10 matches. That would be a sore one if Spurs can't find a way back into that. That continues right now on Sky Sports main event. Soccer Saturday. They'll keep you across everything happening at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So where are we then, Micah, in terms of this title race for Manchester City? Where does this leave us?
I think if Arsenal win tonight, then that could be it. I've always sort of stumbled on the Man City, Arsenal, but I just think for confidence as well, if Arsenal go there, Forest, and win, then their confidence will be too high. I don't know if Man City can claw it back like previous seasons when they go on these amazing runs. And I say that because defensively, if they're getting Gay, maybe they can take it to Arsenal. Brought in Semenyo, who's done ever so well in the last couple of games. A bit quiet today.
Like you said, defensive, but they're not scoring.
Yeah. But if you keep clean sheets, you'll always back City to get 1 or 2 in the games normally. Today, that wasn't the case. I think the wider issue for me is how easy it is to play against Man City. And that's not just blaming the defenders. Rico Lewis didn't have the best game today, but how easy you can get through the lines. And if Rodri is in a position, there's so much open space.
Rodri at the end, oh my goodness, I was watching him. Obviously, the one that was disallowed, when he gives it away and he's running back, he looks shattered.
But
absolutely shattered.
You hear that tone from Pep Guardiola, Daniel, and it's sort of talked about that performance around the sort of development of the team, the way the team is progressing. But they've just signed, as Micah says, Antoine Semenyo for 65 million now. Mark Gahey for another 20. They could have got him for free in January. They've done it now. That seems to be a team that wants to win right now, that is not prepared to just let Arsenal take the league title.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying their best to figure out a way. I think this season is probably the one season maybe in the midfield areas as well, that they're lacking a true partner for, say, a Rodri or a Nico Gonzalez. I think Reinders is quite attacking, Cherki's attacking, Foden's attacking. So in turn, you've got a multitude of attacking-minded midfielders in there with only one who's thinking about the defensive side of the game, alongside the wingers who are also attacking, but their job's to defend. I think that's why City are quite much easier to play against. They've had the Kovacic's of this world, the Gundowans of this world, and the list goes on. I think now the future of the team will be the involvement is, can they become, again, to Mike's point, more difficult to break down and get chances against? They usually control games. Today wasn't that day for them. But you'd like to think, with the signings they've brought in, that they're gonna challenge. Yeah. It's just, can Arsenal take it by the scruff of the neck and go ahead and do it?
The big shock today, I know Pep's mentioned it, but they looked... The physicality wasn't there. I know they've had a bit of busy schedule in a midweek game.
Well, is that the consequence of fighting on 4 fronts?
Well, it can be, but even, you know, sometimes even City on a bad day, looking back the last few years, you think they'll still turn up and have that physicality and obviously energy, and then they show their quality. They didn't even have that today. That real intensity wasn't there from the first minute.
But does the game change if, as Pep suggested, Dalot is shown a red card just 11 minutes into this?
Yeah, well, we go back to having a bit of luck. Decisions going for you or against you.
Micah's still wincing.
No, do you know what? It doesn't get any better. And of course, you look at any tackle in slow motion. I've been on this road. It never looks good. Put it this way, I think if you got a red for that, we wouldn't be sitting here going, it's a bad decision. I think we all agree, and we've all played at a decent level. That's a red. Is
there an argument, though, Micah, if there is force and intensity behind that challenge, which VAR said there wasn't, that Doku doesn't actually get up there?
Well, I don't... It's how high it is on your knee. Of course, if it goes a little bit harder, and then his knee's going to basically explode. Where it is, it's a clear red card. Like you said, we've all played the game. You can talk about intensity all you want, but when you go that high in a challenge...
And Dalot's, but I've been critical of Dalot the last few months about not getting out to people and not having that intensity. Today, he obviously went overboard. He's obviously realising that he needs to get tighter to people. Gary mentioned a few times in commentary how he's getting out to people. He's obviously gone out there quickly. He wants to be aggressive, but he certainly mistimed it. And very, very lucky ball.
I don't think you can use that as an excuse, though. Man United, as Pep said, Man United was just better on the day.
But that was
the game might have changed if that happened, but you don't want to be using that as an excuse. It just didn't do enough.
Yeah, they weren't good enough today, City, but for me, it's a red card. Yeah. If I'm on the receiving end of that challenge, like, I'd be fuming, and you would have anticipated that the referee, when you slow it down and you see it in slow motion, you're thinking...
I don't think you need to slow it down. In real time...
It's just nasty, though. It's a nasty tackle, that's all. It's just nasty tackle.
Would it have made a difference to the scoreline? Well, we will never know, will we? Micah, thank you very much. Daniel, thank you. Roy, thank you very much.